Nasra Yussef Mohammad was born in 1986. She would get married to a man by the name of Zahid when apparently they were in their late teen years. They would have 2 kids together. Both those kids would apparently end up being special needs. And then sometime in August 2009, apparently he announced that he was leaving her and was getting married to another woman that later that month. And so on April 15th, 2009, apparently Zahid was getting married in a city called Al-Jahara, which apparently is a city in Kuwait. Apparently there were 2 tents, one for men and another one for women and children, because apparently in that culture, you're not supposed to be able to see women's face, and there's separate tents they could show their face if there were not any men present at the time. And then also, apparently, one thing I didn't mention, both of these tents only had one exit. Apparently, Nasra apparently actually shows up to the wedding and apparently proceeds to douse gasoline on the tents and then, of course, lights it on fire. And so like I said, with the tents only having one exit, as you can imagine, there were a good amount of deaths. There actually wound up being 57 people that died in the final death toll, with more than 90 people being injured. And the tent apparently had burned to the ground within 5. You can imagine how hot that fire was, right? So then, of course, Nasra apparently would get arrested and apparently had confessed to police. And then apparently when she is asked for a lawyer, she says, everything I confessed to you prior to me asking for a lawyer needs to be thrown out. So then apparently she would actually claim, and I guess the witnesses would actually come forward saying that they apparently had saw Nasra apparently pouring the gasoline, which she was the one who poured that gasoline. She tried to say, oh no, that was actually water. Right, because gasoline is clear, just like water. So she tried to say, oh no, that was water that they saw me throw on there. But then of course, I guess to try to get out of being executed, because now she knows all the people that died, you definitely get that death penalty. She tries to claim, I'm pregnant. Because apparently when you're pregnant, you can't get executed. At least over there. I know some countries they don't care, but apparently in Kuwait they do. So within 2 months, it's found that she's actually not pregnant. It is not known, at least publicly, whether she had a miscarriage as to why she's no longer pregnant, or she just lied about being pregnant to save her ass. However, she would try to say that she was pregnant, but apparently there was a guard who apparently made her take pills that caused her to have a miscarriage as to her excuse for why she's not pregnant. So Nasra actually winds up being sentenced to death. Apparently, wedding tents were actually wound up being banned in Kuwait, like entirely, unless they were put up by certified people. And then I imagine they had to have extra exits due to a bunch of people apparently dying because of there only being one exit. And so then, in case you're wondering, Nahid and his bride, the woman he was supposed to be marrying, they wound up surviving. But unfortunately, apparently, her sister and her mother, they wound up dying in the fire. And then on January 25th, 2017, Nasra was apparently executed by hand.